professional caregivers, go on your vacations. Take your days off. Do something fun for yourself. And especially wives taking care of their husbands, taking a break doesn't mean you wait till you absolutely cannot do it another moment. It means from the very onset of the diagnosis that you schedule a time away just for you. And if you ever hear a caregiver say, I really need some R&R, take them serious. Think about it. They didn't even have the energy left to say rest and relaxation. Smile. Smile's our first tip. Do you know anything short of a smile can be perceived as rejection by Joe? A frown or even a straight face can make Mabel wonder, is there something wrong, or did I do something wrong? A smile can prevent anxiety. It can create joy. It can create security. Smiles are contagious. Smile at Mabel, she'll smile right back. Smile at Joe, I promise you he will smile back. But there's other things that are contagious too. Our moods. If they're in a bad mood, you might want to double check your mood. How we respond, that's contagious. If Joe tips over his milk and I just get a cloth and wipe it up and say, oh, it's okay, Joe, we don't cry over spilt milk, Joe will get past it. If Joe spills his milk and I get upset, Joe's going to get more upset. Do you know why? Joe cannot distinguish between a minor mishap and a full-blown tragedy. And he's going to look at my response for his cue. You know, not only our smile, but all of our facial expressions, we have to stay aware of them. And what we're saying verbally, our facial expressions needs to communicate the same thing. If I'm changing Mabel after she's had a bowel movement and I'm saying something like, Mabel, I'm so glad you're letting me help you, I better make sure my facial expression is saying the same thing. And if Joe spills his milk again and I'm like, oh, that's okay, we don't cry over spilt milk, but I'm shaking my head and rolling my eyes, this is the message Joe will get. Voice tone. Do you know a lower pitched voice tone is easier to listen to? It's calming. When we speak, we want to speak slowly, clearly, the appropriate volume. And when we speak, we want to hesitate. We want to give Mabel and Joe a chance to process what's said and give them a chance to repeat back. We want to speak in an easygoing, non-demanding manner of speaking. You know, even when we don't mean to, our voice tone can communicate thoughts and feelings that we would never intentionally say out loud. We never want to use baby talk. Simple language can still be adult in nature. You never want to talk about Joe in front of Joe. You never want to whisper in front of Mabel because it will make her suspicious. She'll think you're talking about her. One day I was doing a short ongoing training session with my staff on the inability of people with dementia to control their impulsive, immediate reactions to their thoughts and feelings. And the story I told to demonstrate that point was kind of a true story. Often on the way to work, I'll pull into the gas station on the corner and go in for a cup of coffee. And there's a really cute young gal that works there, but she has the most annoying, high-pitched voice tone, and she'll talk way too loud. So I'll walk in and I'll put my coffee up on the counter, and she'll look at me and go, "Any gas today?" And I'm like, No, no, just the coffee. Oh, and there's a security mirror there. And whenever she catches a glimpse of her reflection, totally distracts her. And she'll fix her little collar. And then, just as if I'd never answered her, she'll go, "Any gas today?" No, just the coffee. Oh dear, now she's straightening her necklace. Then she looks down and, true story, "Cappuccino?" I can control my impulsive reactions. I've never jumped over the counter at her. However, Mabel could take a swing at someone that she felt was half listening to her and was using a voice tone that was hard to hear, hard to listen to. Limit background sounds, just a simple one, but people with dementia lose the ability to filter out background sounds. So shutting the TV off, the radio off, the fan down can all just be helpful. Eye contact, huge tool. Eye contact can communicate so much. Even end-of-life care, eye contact can say, "I care." It can say, "I'm interested in what you have to say. I'm listening. I like being with you. You have my attention." I love eye contact. Cueing. Cueing is just incredible. There was a long-term care insurance company that sent an RN to our home to do an evaluation on Sam. Getting tired of saying Joe. Sam. And part of her evaluation was asking Joe to remember 3 words to see if later on he could recall them. So we were sitting in Sam's bedroom. He was in his lazy boy chair. His bed was right next to it. I was sitting on the side, and the RN had pulled her chair up in front of Sam. And so she said, very good at explaining what she wanted him to do. "Sam, I'm going to give you 3 words, and I'd like you to try to remember them. The first word is bed." And she reached over and she patted his bed. The second word is floor, and she bent over and she tapped the floor. And the third word is chair, and she said it as she reached in and rubbed the arm of his chair. And a few minutes later she said, "Sam, I gave you 3 words. Can you tell me what they are?" Sam, true story, reached over, patted the bed, and said bed, tried to reach towards the floor, rubbed the arm of his chair, chair. The power of cueing. Well, when she started doing this, I just jotted a little note down saying, "Sam will get this right because of your cueing." So she said, "Very good job, Sam, but I'm going to give you 3 more words. Sky, pen," and she did wave her pen, "box." Later, when she asked Joe if he could recall the 3 words, Sam said, "pen." Mm-hmm. One night I was helping Mabel get ready for bed. We were in her bathroom. Mabel was middle, late stage. Stages are always hard because, well, I wasn't going to make this point, but if somebody's labeled late stage, you will quit giving them the credit that they deserve, and sometimes they can still do what you think late stage people can't do. And just like how Nancy was so honest, just because Nancy was very professional and did everything so good, always looked so nice, didn't mean that Nancy didn't have time of being down. But Mabel, I had put paste on her toothbrush and handed it to her. She really no longer had the ability to take a cap off a toothbrush, and that's a lot of coordination to put the paste on. And I handed it to her. But this day, Mabel just stood and stared at that toothbrush. She had not a clue what to do.